Hello, I'm Dale Petrock. I've been doing some head-to-head comparisons of various ammos across days, weather conditions, as well as rifles. In this particular case, however, I'm going to focus on the Anschutz 1761 to see what most consistently performs across my day shooting, the weather that I'm shooting on, whether I'm shooting off a bipod, various lots of the same ammo, those kinds of things, to see if there's a pattern that can start to devolve. Eli apparently feels the necessity to kind of help with this. And so what I've done is collected quite a lot of data in terms of shooting ARA Unlimited targets with the Anschutz 1761. And I've used Tac-22, Wolf Match Target, Match, Eley Match, Eley Team, SK Standard Plus, SK Rifle Match, Lapua Long Range, Lapua Center-X, Lapua SK Long Range Match, and SK Pistol Match Special to kind of get a sense of where things are. And then I did comparisons by shooting the two types or more of ammo across days. And so what you'll see is the ability to kind of look at a given day which ammo was shooting better, at least for me. Most of the time you will see that there are two to four targets being shot per session per ammo type on a given day. And so to see how the patterns evolve. Now, certainly we're going to look at the overall average scores for the ammo across all days. However, it's not a really fair comparison because some days, some ammo has only been shot on good days, and some ammo has only been shot on poor weather days. So what I'm really most concerned about or most interested in is the results of those head-to-head comparisons where two or more targets were typically shot in relation to some other ammo to see how they performed on that day under those conditions with me and my skill that day shooting. Some days I just shoot better than others. And so what you're going to see here is the results of that. Here we can see the target scores for the majority, if not all the targets. And again, there's quite a lot of them. I'll post the total number up in the upper corner here. But the scores, as you can see, for example, there's only been 2 or 3 head-to-head comparisons with Wolf Target Match, while Lapua Long Range and Lapua Center-X have quite a number of head-to-head comparisons. And part of that is I'm just kind of competitive, and so what seems to start shooting well tends to be what I start with, and so I want to see how it compares to everything else. And so what we saw when we looked at the averages, even though there's inconsistent cell sizes, so some have been tested way more than others, was that Lapua Long Range had the highest average score at 1767.5, followed by SK Long Range Match, which had 1708, and then 1650 was for Center-X, but again, uneven cell sizes across different weather conditions, etc., etc. Not something I would spend a huge amount of time trusting given how that kind of went down. The one that stood out to me, though, is when I did the head-to-head comparisons, looking at the percentage of those that won the head-to-head battles with one another. And so what we saw was the most consistent or the most successful was SK Rifle Match with that Anschutz shot 100%, 2 for 2, and it shot against Lapua Long Range, as I recall, or SK Long Range, sorry, SK Long Range and Lapua Center-X. And so even though it only had 2 comparisons, it had 2 that are relatively high performers with SK Long Range and with Center-X. So it shows much more promise than I perhaps initially have kind of given it credit for. Following that, the most successful has been Lapua Long Range, which won 57% of the battles that it took on, followed then by Center-X and SK Pistol Match Special, both of which had 50% success in the battles that they undertook. And so at this particular point, that's where the results tend to stand. You can take the parts of it that you think are most valuable to you, and may all your shooting be X's, and have a great day.